I've been seeing comments like this. Can we just go back to regular police brutality, please? She's saying the silent part out loud that a lot of people don't want to admit. And this is why a lot of African Americans have decided that we're not going to put our bodies at the forefront of this fight right now, because it's like we're forgotten. You guys forget about history. So you're saying let's go back to just regular police brutality when they were just basically just harassing us. Like, that's no big deal. As long as they don't touch, you guys, it's completely okay. And I've been seeing a lot of this, and that's why a lot of people are hesitant to really go out and march, because we seem to be forgotten. For example, Keith Porter, completely forgotten in this conversation. I do not see very many posts about him unless it's people like me posting about him. And this is what I mean when I say we're forgotten. It doesn't matter when it happens to us, no one cares. But the moment that it happens to other people who don't look like us, suddenly it's an uproar. African Americans are not surprised by any of this going on, and the reason we seem to be so calm about it is because we've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen to our people countless times throughout history, and I won't say we're exactly desensitized to it, but it's just like we're not surprised. Especially black women. We showed up to the polls, we tried our best, we warned people. People were warned about how this is going to happen, but everyone seemed to ignore it. We've seen this countless times in history with people who look like us, who aren't protected, and actually the government protects these organizations that harass us, like the police, fire department who used to hose us. A lot of people seem to forget about that. The KKK. So many organizations have gotten away with harassing us and brutalizing us that for us this is not shocking. This is shocking for other people suddenly, and it's bonkers. And then people are like yelling at us to go and put our bodies at the forefront yet again, and in the same breath forgetting about us.
Can we just go back to regular police brutality, please? Okay, here's my take, and I need y'all to stay with me, okay? Do I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that she meant that police need to just get back to killing black people and black people only? No, I'm not 100% convinced. Stay with me. Do I believe that is the most tone-deaf, racially insensitive comment that I've heard in a while? 1000%. I believe that comment, that train of thought is steeped in inherent racism 10,000%. It completely validates what we've always known. They know what the fuck was happening. It just didn't affect them, so they didn't give a fuck. But now that good white folks are dying, now police brutality is a problem. You want to get back to the regular police brutality, which didn't include white people. Woke white liberal women are far more dangerous than MAGA women, because it's all about appearance with you. You convince yourselves that you're one of the good ones because you're not out there in the streets with your blatant racism, because you're not all over social media dropping the N-word with the hard ER. These are the type of white women that will post pictures of videos of their little white babies hugging a strange black man to say, look, see, we don't see color. And in actuality, you see it. You've always seen it. We know this. Now we know that you know we know this. But if you think that comment was fucking ludicrous, let's take a look at her apology. I'm sorry for the hurt I caused. My post came out of frustration of the state of the world we find ourselves in and not towards any race. I did what I thought was appropriate and removed the offending post and apologized profusely for the harm and recognized it is not an excuse. Now this is where it gets really good. This is where it gets fucking stupendous. If people spent more time, myself included, going after people with legitimate power and cause actual malicious harm instead of a nobody who tries to be a decent person, blah, blah, fucking blah. I know I was wrong, but you guys are wrong too for calling me out. I said I was sorry. Jeez, like what more do you want? Why is everybody being so mean to me? Trust me when I say she's one post away from dropping that N-word with the hard ER.
So we were right. Like, I mean, I knew I was, right? But this just proves it. Can we just go back to regular police brutality, please? Can we just go back to when the white people weren't being murdered unjustly, please? What the fuck is regular police brutality? Even with the ICE situation and the mistreatment of people from ICE. ICE has killed people for years. Your outrage and can we just go back to regular police brutality came after Renee Good and Alex Preddy, who both happen to be white. That's what we're talking about. So when I pointed out they're killing our neighbors now was very weird, considering they've been killing your neighbors, but you just didn't consider us your neighbors because we didn't look like you. Police, ICE, federal agents, whatever you want to call them, have always been murdering people. This isn't new. But it seems to have caught your attention when the victims were white. So yes, be outraged, be upset at what's happening. But when you literally say, hey guys, stop killing the white folks and I will mind my business, you're proving the point. You are a part of the problem. You might as well pull the triggers yourself, because you're literally saying, just go kill the blackies, please. Just go kill the brown people, please. Leave us white folk out of it. That's why you're in it, because you wanted to be left out of it so bad. That's why you're being murdered now, because you wanted to ignore when people you didn't deem worthy of life were being murdered.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I literally LOL'd, not because I found it funny, but because it just caught me off guard. And then this one, can we just go back to regular police brutality, please? And this person claimed to be a leftist, but they have been chased off of the Threads app. So they did claim to be a leftist. And so as a leftist, you were okay with the status quo when it was only black and brown people being brutalized. And then people act so confused. Actually, no, they don't wonder, and they do not act confused. They act obtuse as to the reasonings why the 92% says, hey, we are resting. You guys have this one. Okay? We refuse to be your meat shields. And then people just are all up in arms, like, oh my gosh, you guys can't do this. You guys can't sit this out. And they're like, hey, watch me. I will absolutely sit this out.
I already had really complicated feelings watching the world show up for these white people that were killed at the hands of state-sanctioned violence and not show up for black people who have been killed at the hands of state-sanctioned violence forever. Knowing that I have had to advocate for it, that I've only seen members of my community talking about it. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to process those feelings in private, because the most important thing is that people are now looking at state-sanctioned violence. They're understanding the threat that it poses. They're understanding the severity of the situation, how this is a danger for everybody. I have been processing that and being like, the good that's coming out of it trumps how I feel about it. And then there's posts like what's been on the screen, and people are just saying the quiet part out loud. And they're like, you know, this is not the kind of state-sanctioned violence that we are okay with. And I'm not gonna lie, it really devastated me. Like, I knew people felt like that, but I didn't. Seeing it is really hard. Seeing people say the quiet part out loud is really difficult, and it really hurt my feelings. So I'm going to take this time to say that everybody, regardless of if they are a perfect or a good victim, deserves to not be killed at the hands of the state, at the hands of the government. Everybody deserves the right to not be murdered by their government. Point blank, period. And that's that on that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I hope everyone has a great day. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
That tweet talking about, can we go back to regular police brutality, and this interview with a whole bunch of white folks from Iowa just goes to show that the majority of white folks in America don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves.
I mean, I think anytime someone gets shot in the street, we should be able to go for it. It's enough to be they're not supposed to be here. Maybe they should go back where they're going and get involved and forget the way they were trying to do it. It's
Legalized murder in America has been going on since its infancy. It was founded on it, bruh. Like, this is our origin. This is our culture in America. Well, white culture in America, excuse me. And the more that you try to deny this history in the United States, the more likely it's going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? Because like, it's not even a cycle at this point. They're just going back into the playbook and running the same plays over and over again. Like, it's not a cycle. It's a continuation of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They find different ways to make these tactics work for them and to terrorize people.
You guys, like, can we just go back to regular police brutality? Like, come on.
Okay, now that I have your attention, for those of us that still don't fucking get it, nobody has the privilege that protects you from the brutality that has been happening in our world, okay? It's time to wake up. If you think, oh my gosh, it can't be me, you're fucking dead wrong, okay? It can be you, it can be me, it can be fucking anybody. I think that's pretty fucking clear. So, with that said, a lot of people don't know that the funding that these grown babies having a tantrum with big boy weapons runs out on January 30th. Okay, there's a new bill that's being written that will significantly restrict their access to funds and just make sure that they are not getting any more funding for their brutality, which again, I need to emphasize, it can be anybody. I am going to put a link in my caption. It'll give you resources and direction on how to contact your senators, how you can help make this happen. Okay, so please wake the fuck up. Like, stop, wake up.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50